Today, artists are trying to impress people when they should be trying to inspire people. And so as a result of that, we see all these fake profiles, like for example, this one that have more than 50,000 followers, yet they only have 70 likes and 1 comment on a post, or 30 likes. We get it. Those are fake profiles. Those profiles will not do anything in the art world, will not have any damage. And so in this video, we will be explaining you how to grow your following on Instagram and how to get the same results as I get. On this screenshot, you see a post that I posted recently that got hundreds of comments, another one that gets millions of views. You can have those results, but you will have to watch this video. You will have to understand these principles. In the next 5 or 10 minutes, I'm going to probably save months of your life. And so if you don't have 10 minutes, then guess what? You're not going to win in the art world anyway. So let's dive into it. The first thing that you have to understand is that the only artists that succeed on Instagram are the ones who have Instagram's goals in mind and help Instagram achieve their goals. And so you have to understand what those goals are. They're very simple. Number 1, make sure that people stay on the platform. Number 2, make sure that people never leave on the platform. And number 3, make sure that children from now on live their lives like this while watching Instagram all of the time. And so it basically boils down to making content that people want to watch, that people want to consume. And so when you have this in mind and you look, for example, at the second tip, the whole hashtag thing, you have a lot of people recommending hashtags, recommending to build a hashtag ladder with some hashtags that have little views and then other hashtags that have more posts and then all of that stuff. And that's all cool, except for the fact that it doesn't work. Because the only time that people watch hashtags is when they check for hashtags, when they want to see the competition, how the competition is doing. And nobody is using hashtags like they use Google as a search machine. Nobody is doing that. Hashtags used to, like years ago, had a lot of impact and you could kind of hack the game, but those times are over. You're not gonna grow with hashtags because nobody really cares. And so why is everybody talking about hashtags? Why is everybody using them? Because of a snowball effect. Like we saw in the 2020 crisis with toilet paper. There was no toilet paper crisis yet everybody was buying toilet paper because everybody was buying toilet paper. And so same with the hashtag thing, like years ago you could hack your way in with hashtags, but those times are over. And there's one thing that I do want to say that is actually kind of powerful to some extent, a way that art collectors use hashtags to decide which art they want to buy, a way that music agencies use hashtags to see which artists to sign, and that is to go to the hashtag of the artist and then seeing how many people are using that branded hashtag. And so as a collector, you then know how many people are actually supporting that artist, not how many likes they have. There are art profiles, artists out there that have 100,000 followers. Yet, if you look at their branded hashtag, they're the only ones kind of that use that. And then there are other artists that don't even have an Instagram profile and that have 10,000 posts under their branded hashtag. Why? Because so many people are actually from the heart connected to that. And so those profiles are obviously way more powerful, or those artists are way more powerful. They don't have a profile, but those artists are way more powerful than somebody who has 100,000 followers or something. Now my third tip is very simple. You have to edit your images. And this sounds very obvious, yet so many artists don't do that, including myself early on in my journey. As you can see on the screenshots right now, one image is posted on Saatchi, wasn't edited. The other one is on Instagram and is edited, and you see the difference. It's huge. One is edited, one is not. Now, of course, those images are nothing like the real life version of that artwork, but still, those things matter. In the end, you're a visual artist, and your visual representation of the artwork you get it, right? Now, the next tip that I want to give you, the fourth tip, is to switch over to a business account or an art creator account. Now, this is very, very important because the rules of business or in business are very, very simple. Whoever understands the audience best wins. That's the only rule. And so you need those analytics that you will get from our business account or a business account or creator's account to understand your audience. That's an essential. That's just a given. Now, back in the days, if you go 2 years ago, that might have not been the case because there was some kind of organic reach advantage if you didn't do that, because Instagram was lowering the reach of business accounts to push them to spend more on advertisement and all of that stuff. But now with the organic reach that is so low in Instagram, it doesn't really matter anymore. And so I would definitely recommend a business account or creator's account. One of those two, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. As a fifth tip in this list, let's talk about the name. I've covered that in another video as well. Suggest to not spend any time thinking or choosing your name. And so you kind of get my idea around it. The name doesn't really matter. It's just not that important. Gagosian Gallery didn't meant anything before Gagosian Gallery came along. Same with Saatchi, same with all those big brands. What you will do as an artist will be so much more important than the name for your name than the name that you choose. And there are a lot of tactics out there, like putting some kind of keyword in it, like for example, Dries Ketels abstract art. And then if people search for abstract art, they can stumble upon your name and all. I mean, cool, but those tactics are so saturated, they will not help you at all. And the competitive market advantage of those tactics is the lifespan of that is very low. Don't be busy with any of those tactics, just use the real ones. Now, as a sixth tip, let's talk a little bit about the KOLs of the industry, the key opinion leaders, because you, of course, want to reach them so that they feature you. Whether it's magazines or whether it's even like feature pages, stuff like that, like making contact with those people, especially if they're real, not bought Instagram pages like we covered in the beginning of this video that will not do anything. No, if they're real, that's going to be a powerful thing. You want to connect with people. And so how can you do that? There are so many ways, and I have a PR video as well, but let me explain one that I didn't cover on this channel yet that is also very powerful. Now, these people, if they have a featured page, art page, or a magazine art page, or whatever, they're constantly searching for content that has already proof of work. They are searching for content that went viral, or to some extent a little bit viral, so that when they post it on their page, they are certain that it will engage with people, that people will like it, etc., to grow the page further and to grow the engagement further. And so what's going to be very powerful is that you have already viral content, and then send a message to those people, direct outreach, for example, cold outreach, that's fine, and you cover your analytics. Hey, this post that I posted there already got this and this and this engagement there. And so these people then know, hey, if I write something about this, if I make a little post about this, if I perhaps even an article, whatever, then I'm guaranteed to have some kind of engagement because it already has proof on those other profiles, on those other things. And so that's going to be a very powerful trick that you can use to really connect with those key opinion leaders of the market. Now, let me tell you a little fact before we go on to the seventh tip, which for most or some people is probably going to be the best tip of them all. Now, in this world, art is the only necessity. If you think about it, art is the only necessity. When people are not sleeping, not working, and not eating, it's the only thing they do. They watch movies, they play video games, they go to the theater, they go to museums, they read books. All of those things are created by artists because art is the only necessity. Yet, artists are not getting the money for it. And so that's why you should subscribe to this channel, because this channel is giving artists all the tools that they need to make money from their art. That's why you should be subscribing, so that we can do this together, making money from our art, because art is the only necessity. It's that simple. So the seventh tip. Most artists wait until they are good enough. They wait until they have exhibitions or won some prize or have some more credentials. They're waiting for credentials before they start on Instagram, before they start a YouTube channel, before they start anything. And here's a little secret. If I had waited until I had enough credentials, I would still be crying like a baby in a hospital 10 minutes after it is born. Because, I mean, you can wait for the rest of your life. you can wait for the rest of your life. You're never gonna have enough credentials. You're always gonna have something that you could do better. And so you have to just start. That's the most important thing. You have to just start today. And you could, for example, start by watching this video, how to sell art on Instagram, or watching this other video, how to make the perfect Instagram bio. Both of them will help you a lot in your Instagram journey, whether you're a beginner or an advanced or whatever. And my name is Dries Ketels. I hope to see you again sometime soon, okay? Ciao, ciao.